Let's do a room tour. What's going on, everybody? GemMint here. I wasn't gonna even do a room tour because I don't think much has really changed since the end of the year room tour that we did last year. If anything, I might have a few less statues out here, but I figured, you know what? Tradition is tradition. Let's do a full basement tour, look at the library, look at the statues, the arcades. Let's jump into it. All right, so we haven't added anything new coming down the basement stairs, but if you're new here, what I have is my favorite Marvel trading card set of all time, the cards that got me into comics, the 1992 Marvel Masterpieces, complete set by Joe Jusko. I had it framed at Michael's. It looks great. I don't recommend you going to Michael's to frame your cards if you're considering it, but I do think getting trading card sets framed is a pretty cool idea. I would love to do it with some more sets. I do have a promo poster from that same set as well, the iconic Spider-Man, coming this fall, 1992. So we have that, and then coming into the basement. So again, if you're new here, we bought this house with the intention to convert the basement into the Gempire that you see here. So the first thing I did was get the floor done. This is blue epoxy. Had it done throughout the entire floor until you get into the rooms that we'll see back there. And then I had custom shelving built here. So these are all custom built-ins. We've got the ladder there. We've got a little podcast seating area where I read comics in my omnibus. And I guess let's start off with what's on the shelves. First of all, I do have some of these Hobby Lobby canvases. We got the Marvel section over here. And then hopefully I'll remember to show you guys once we get down there, we got the DC ones. So this is supposed to be my indie section, but it's been a rough time trying to fill that section up. So I decided to take the congested X-Men diorama area and take all of the smaller proximity pieces and put them on the shelves over here. So that's what you guys see as far as the statues. But before we get into that, let's take a look at some of the books. So here we have some of the larger books. We got the Jeff Loeb, Tim Sale, Daredevil. We've got the Ice Cold hip hop jewelry book, not comic related, but still like it. We have some absolute editions here from DC. So you got Superman for All Seasons, which apparently James Gunn is gonna borrow from for the Superman Legacy movie. And we've got some Batman absolutes, Watchmen, Doomsday Clock. We've got Metal and Death Metal. We've got the Grant Morrison Multiversity. We've got the Inkle, still sealed. We did read and review this, and we ended up getting a new copy later on. We got the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror, Titans. Guys, this is an awesome book. So I'm a huge fan of Joe Jusko, but I also do like Boris Vallejo and Julie Bell. So this is their art book, similar to how this is the Jusko Marvel Masterpiece art book. That's a cool one right there. We've got The Boys. We've got the Spawn Deluxe Editions. We've got the old school Swamp Thing Absolute. I really need to double back and get those Alan Moores. We got V for Vendetta. Yeah, this book is pretty cool. So this was given to me by a local creator in Singapore. He not only produced his own comic book, but his own hardcover. So shout out to him. We've got some Red Sonja love, TMNT hardcover compendiums, and the IDW hardcovers. We've got The Last Ronin and the Batman TMNT Omnibus, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated series set, which is in the Turtles truck. Here we have some Invincible hardcover compendiums, Something is Killing the Children, Ice Cream Man, Firepower, Hellboy, and then some kind of biographies and such. So you got some Rich Dad, Poor Dad. We got the Fat Joe book, Gucci Mane. I have some other books, Elon Musk, some Patrick Bet-David stuff upstairs, and some DVD box sets. As far as Iron Studios, we have all of the 1/10 scale X-Men characters that they've done so far. So the siblings, Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. Underneath the Turtle stuff, we have the OG Turtle set with the red bandanas. Here goes the Mortal Kombat set. We should be getting Sonya Blade and Baraka in pretty soon. But, you know, I'm a huge MK guy, as you'll see as we continue through this tour. Down below, we have more of the X-Men. We've got Logan, Silver Samurai. We've got Nightcrawler, X-23, Albert and LCD, Omega Red here, and man, a real eyesore with those power packs in the back. We've got the Blob, Sabretooth, and then we have Mojo and Spiral. And you're gonna start to see a lot of trading cards here. I've been doing these box breaks lately. Shout out to Upper Deck. They've been sending us these boxes, and we've been throwing them in like giveaways and such over on Whatnot. Below there is just kind of stacks where I've been putting single comics, and same with the bottom. Kind of like trade paperbacks, stuff that I don't really collect, but I get them in one way or the other. But we'll continue with the X-Men statues with Cable, Bishop, Domino, Forge, and Deadpool. And we have Pyro, Magic, Professor X, Warpath, and Havoc. And then on the bottom, Mystique, Jean Grey, Colossus, Emma Frost, and Lady Deathstrike. All right, so that is the indie section / Iron Studios 1/10 scale. Speaking of Iron Studios, we do have their quarter scale Stan Lee statue looking over the Gempire with the 100K subscribers plaque. And we have some Marvel trading card tins, plus this gem that was gifted to us from Mom and Sons at C2E2. All right, so before we get into the Marvel stuff, I think we should get into the manga, because that's kind of lining the top shelves here. So first we have Akira, which I think was the first manga I've ever read. Still a great read. Battle Angel Alita, we've got Blame. Of course, we've got Berserk. By the time you guys see this, I probably will have the 14th Deluxe Edition, and those are the most recent bookmarks. We have Blade of the Immortal, Chainsaw Man, which I just actually got caught up reading volumes 12 and 13. We've got Claymore, Die Dark, Demon Slayer, Fist of the North Star, Gantz, Hellsing. We got Lone Wolf and Cub. We've got Kaiju 8, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. We got the first volume, My Hero. What is this? Record of Ragnarok. Here's the box set for Akira and Demon Slayer. And then Claymore and My Hero. So kind of cheating there, just spreading out with those box sets. But yeah, we have the top lined with manga. Now we can go over to the Marvel stuff. So some out of print goodness, Acts of Vengeance with the crossovers, Adam Warlock, Alias, the Aliens volumes. Then we've got Annihilation with Conquest. Oh, Alpha Flight by John Byrne. Atlantis Attacks, the OG Avengers stuff. Then we have Avengers The Crossing, The Gathering, the George Perez, Kurt Busiek volumes, the John Byrne Avengers, West Coast Avengers, Savage Avengers, that's kind of out of order, New Avengers, Hickman's Avengers, AVX, and Young Avengers. Then we're getting into some Black Cat goodness, Black Panther, the early years, Black Panther by Christopher Priest, Black Panther by Ta-Nehisi Coates, got the Black Widow Strikes, Blade, the early years, Captain America by Stan Lee, Captain America by, look at this small font here, Englehart. I don't even remember this one, yo. Cap by Mark Waid. We got Dan Jurgens. We've got the Ed Brubaker 5-book set, Rick Remender. We have Nick Spencer. And then we're into Captain Britain. Then we have the OG Captain Marvel, Captain Marvel. Then we have the Carol Danvers Captain Marvel stuff. And then here goes the ladder that I had put in here. I figured, man, I always wanted a library with a ladder that you can step on and swing through like Beauty and the Beast. So then we get into some symbiote stuff, man. The original Carnage, Omnibus, Absolute Carnage, Cloak and Dagger, Conan the Barbarian by Kurt Busiek. That's the only Conan that I kept. And of course, Cosmic Ghost Rider by Donny Cates. Swinging back down. We get into Daredevil with the first 2 volumes from the original run, then some Frank Miller goodness, Brubaker, Bendis, Of course, Shadowland, the Marvel Knights Joe Quesada, the Mark Waid run, the Charles Soule run, and then we have Deadpool, man. So with Beginnings, Classics, then Deadpool by Joe Kelly, Deadpool and Cable, Deadpool by Daniel Way, Deadpool by, I forget the name, man. Oh, the Deadpool and Co. Omnibus. We have the 4 minibuses, and then actually, this is the book I thought that was, the Deadpool by Posen and Dugan. Then we have some Defenders, the Doctor Doom Book of Doom, Doctor Strange Volumes 1 and 2, and then the 3 volumes from the 90s run. This might be the next Omnis that I try to jump into. Doctor Strange by Jason Aaron. We have the Earth X Trilogy Omnibus, the Avengers Fantastic Four Empire event, the Eternals Complete Saga, Evolutionary War. We've got Excalibur Omnibus, and then we get into Fantastic Four with the 4 Silver Age classics, followed by the John Byrne Omnis. We've got the Mark Waid and, is it Mike Waringo? Fantastic Four by Mark Miller and Brian Hitch. Then we have the Hickman run, and then the Matt Fraction Omnibus. We got Ghost Rider by Jason Aaron, Gwenpool. We only have a couple of the Guardians Omnis. I think I got rid of some of them, but the Jim Valentino run. Then we have the Brian Michael Bendis, Tomorrow's Heroes, and the Jerry Dugan run. I think I got rid of the ones by Abnett and Lanning that double dipped with War of Kings. Heroes Reborn, Goodness by Liefeld, Jim Lee and Co., plus the revisited event from a couple years ago and Heroes Return, and then the more recent Jason Aaron run. Then we have Incredible Hulk, man, the first 2 Silver Age volumes and the 5 Peter David volumes. All right, so this is where it gets messy with the trading cards and everything, but still keeping up with Hulk, we have World War Hulk, Planet Hulk, Jeff Loeb and Ed McGuinness Hulk, the Immortal Hulk, and then the Maestro by Peter David Omnibus. We got Thanos Infinity Origins, Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity War, Infinity Crusade, and then the final Infinity Saga. Got the Avengers Omnibus, Immortal Iron Fist, that's also Ed Brubaker. Silver Age Iron Man by Busick, by David Michelini. The Dan Slott Iron Man, which I'm using to try to hide some ugly wires. Iron Man, the Mask of Iron Man. Got the King in Black Omni, a couple of Loki Omnibus. I might be missing one. We've got the Luke Cage Omni, the Marvel Age, Marvel Cosmic Universe by Donny Cates, the 2 Marvel Zomnibus. The omnibus that I most recently read was Miracle Man. I'm going to try to bust out a review for it, guys, but man, so much craziness. Then we got all the Moon Knight Omnibus, going into Morbius, Namor, New Warriors, Volumes 1 and 2. Then the New Mutants, which you'll see Volume 3 over on the desk. We've got Nova, Predator, and then we got Punisher, man. So back to the war, the Rick Remender Omnibus, the Garth Ennis Omnis, and then the Jason Aaron Punisher Max. All right, Secret Wars 1 and 2, Secret Warriors, She-Hulk. We have 3 omnibus for her. Silver Surfer, the OG stuff, and the Dan Slott run. And then we get into Spider-Man. So, Amazing Spider-Man Volumes 1 through 5. Swinging on over back to this side of town, the Roger Stern Omnibus, Spectacular Spider-Man, ASM by McFarlane, and then Spider-Man by McFarlane. One of my favorites, guys, Spider-Man vs. Venom, Spider-Man by David Michelini and Eric Larson. Another favorite, Spider-Man 2099. We've got the John Byrne Omnibus and the 2 J. Michael Straczynski books. Then we have Untold Tales of Spider-Man, and then the Clone Saga, followed by the Ben Reilly Saga. Then we have the 4 Ultimate Spider-Man Omnibus, Superior Spider-Man. Yo, I forgot that came out. The 2 Spider-Gwen books and Spider-Verse, Spider-Geddon. ASM by Nick Spencer, Amazing Spider-Man Beyond, Amazing Spider-Man by Chip Zdarsky. And then we jump into the Miles stuff. So the original one's by Brian Michael Bendis, and then the Saladin Ahmed book. We've got Thor by Jason Aaron. Hold on, why are those books over here? This is a little bit out of order, you guys. Squadron Supreme, The Thing Omnibus. I didn't even remember I had that one either. And then the Mighty Thor, we have the 4 volumes there. The Walter Simonson Omnibus, the Heroes Return Omnibus, volumes 1 and 2 of that. And we've got the Straczynski Omni and the Matt Fraction Thor Omnibus. Then we go to Thunderbolts, volumes 1 through 3. I do have the new Thunderbolts book you'll see as well on the desk. Got the Ultimates by Mark Miller and Brian Hitch. The Ven Omnibuses, volumes 1 through 3. The Ven Omnibus by Donnie Cates. And then here goes Road to War of Kings. All right, now on the bottom shelf, guys. So War of Kings and Realm of Kings, War of the Realms, the 3 What If volumes, the 4 Wolverine volumes, followed by Weapon X The Return, Wolverine by Mark Miller, which has Old Man Logan, Wolverine by Jason Aaron, Wolverine Goes to Hell, and Wolverine and the X-Men, followed by X-23, which is kind of like out of order. Well, actually, maybe not, because then you have All New Wolverine, which is like, I guess, X-23 Volume 2, right? All right, so then X-Factor Volume 1 and 2. We have X-Force Volume 1, Deadpool and the X-Force, which is basically Volume 2, Cable and the X-Force, Uncanny X-Force, and from here on out, guys, it's Mutant Madness. We have the Silver Age X-Men Omnibus, the 5 Uncanny X-Men volumes. Then we have Mutant Massacre. We have Fall of the Mutants, the Inferno Omnibus, the Age of Apocalypse books. We've got the Jim Lee, Chris Claremont 90s volume Omnis, the animated series adaptations, Chris Claremont's Revolution, Extreme X-Men. We've got Onslaught, Avengers vs. Apocalypse, the 12, Ultimate X-Men, Astonishing X-Men, New X-Men, House of M, Grand Design, and Legion. The remaining books are oversized hardcovers collecting the Krakoa era with Hoxpox, Ten of Swords, Hellfire Gala. We have the X-Men Hickman Omnibus, which is actually just a regular omnibus, and then the 10 Lives of Wolverine. Now it's time to get into DC. So DC would be a lot more full if I kept all those Golden Age, Silver Age books. A little bit of regret, but you know, I had to do what I had to do at the time. But we have Animal Man by Morrison and Jeff Lemire, Aquaman by Jeff Johns, The Authority, American Vampire by Scott Snyder, Batgirl Returns, Batgirl by Burnside, and then we do have the Batman Silver Age Omnibus, so I kind of started to pick up where I left off. Shout out to the Comic Book Community Awards, the CBCA. We have, 6 awards that we've won over the last 3 years. You can find them on Instagram and on YouTube. Very cool way to vote for your favorite comic book content creators. And they hold awards, they're very fair, and they ship out plaques, man. So shout out to them. Then we've got the Batman by Neil Adams, Batman by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. And I guess we could just take a look real quick. Even though it's like in the DC section, we have the 3/4 scale Spider-Verse premium formats by Sideshow. We've got Spider-Gwen, we've got Peter Parker, and we've got Miles Morales. All right, keeping it moving, we've got the 3 Batman Nightfall Omnibus, followed by the Iron Studios 1/10 scale Batmobile from the animated series. Super sleek, and of course we have Batman next to it to go along with it. Should probably get Joker and Harley. Then we've got Road to No Man's Land and No Man's Land Volumes 1 and 2, Batman Black and White, the Batman Adventures Omnibus, which is basically Batman the Animated Series, which I still haven't finished, man. I kind of read more than halfway on it. Kind of gave up, though. This is a mask that my daughter made. Then we have Batman by Paul Dini, Batman Eternal, Batman and Robin by Peter J. Tomasi, Batman the Arkham Saga, and Rise and Fall of the Batmen by James Tynion IV. More Batman over here with the new 52 Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo run. We got Batwoman, Before Watchmen, Catwoman of East End, Dark Knight's Metal, DC 1 Million. We got the Deadman Omnibus, Deathstroke by Christopher Priest, and the new 52 Deathstroke. We got Detective Comics by Peter J., Doom Patrol by Grant Morrison and by John Byrne. We got The Flash by Mark Waid, by Jeff Johns. And then this is actually just a placeholder. I'm currently reading the Batman Hush Omnibus. You'll see it on the coffee table there. Because then we have the Flashpoint 10th Anniversary Edition, The Flash by Francis Manapul, Then we have the Fourth World by Jack Kirby and then by John Byrne. The Grayson Omnibus and the Green Arrow Longbow Hunter Saga, volumes 1 and 2, which I did get started on. Yeah, look at this. I think I read maybe 1 or so issues of this one. It was really good, but I don't know why I put it down. All right, on to the greenery. We've got Green Lantern by Jeff Johns, the 3-volume saga with Blackest Night and Brightest Day, and then the Green Lantern Core Omni. Got Gotham Central, Jeff Johns' Hawkman, Hellblazer by Garth Ennis, Infinite Crisis and Final Crisis. We've got both volumes of Injustice, Grant Morrison's Invisibles. We've got JLA by Grant Morrison, JSA by Jeff Johns. Then we've got Justice League International, the Detroit Era Omni, the New 52 Justice League, volumes 1 and 2 plus Justice League Dark. Then we have the Dark Side Saga Omnibus and volume 1 of Lucifer. All right, and then on the bottom shelf, we got He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, Nightwing, the Prince of Gotham. We've got the Orion Omnibus by Walter Simonson, Planetary, Preacher, Red Hood New 52. We've got Sandman by Neil Gaiman. We've got Seven Soldiers by Grant Morrison. We've got the Spectre Omnibus, which I really want to get into the Spectre and Deadman. Superman, The Exile and Other Stories, The Death and Return of Superman, Superman and Batman, Superman by Peter J. by Grant Morrison. Then we've got Swamp Thing by Nancy Collins, the New 52. And then the New Teen Titans, George Perez, 5 volumes, the Jeff Johns volume. Then we have George Perez, Wonder Woman, followed by the War of Gods Omnibus. And then finally, the 0 Hour, A Crisis in Time. So like I mentioned, this has been my little reading area and where I've been doing the podcast. We have 2 episodes of the Gemcast out, so check them out. And I have some books here that I am currently reading or haven't gotten to yet. So the Hush Omnibus, I just jumped into the 2nd arc. We got Wonder Man, The Early Years, Sigil, X-Men, The Hidden Years, the Axe Judgment Day event. Here we have Solo Leveling Volume 2. I just got done reading Volume 1, and this just came in the mail today. It's a series that I was put on to when I was in Singapore. Shout out to my man Johnny over at XM. Loved Volume 1. It's a Korean manga, and it's going to be the first one that's going to be adapted into a Japanese anime. So super cool to jump into that. We got the reprint of the Clone Saga, Rom, the original Marvel years. We've got the Thor Straczynski Omnibus, Daredevil by Mark Waid Volume 2, the Devil's Reign Daredevil event, and the Iron Fist Danny Rand Early Years Omni. If you guys are looking to pick up any collected editions, whether they're omnibus, absolutes, trade paperbacks, whatever, you got to check out organicpricebooks.com. Not only do they have a wide selection of in-stock items, but you can also pre-order new omnis so that you don't catch the FOMO and you don't miss out on that direct market cover. Also, if you use code GEMMINT, it'll save you $2 on every order. Not a lot of money, but every dollar helps. So check out organicpricebooks.com. Before we get into all that statue stuff, let's just cover the rest of the hardcovers that are on the desk here. So, like I mentioned, New Mutants Volume 3, The Thunderbolts Uncaged, The Marvel Universe by Art Adams, Super Sons, the Super Duper edition. I think this is like the 3rd edition of this. We got a Fantastic Four oversized hardcover. We have the last Ronin Lost Years, which I did read. I need to do a review on this. Ice Cream Man Volume 2, the Invincible hardcover compendium volume 3, but check this out, guys. It's upside down. And then volume 4 for the library editions, which I thought was volume 4 of this, and I ended up getting that one by accident. All right, so on to the statues. Here we have the Iron Studios 1/10 scale Sentinel display. Like I said, removed all the smaller proximity pieces out of here, and I just left the bigger ones that wouldn't fit into the bookcases. So this is the Sentinel #1 with Beast, Rogue, Wolverine, Jubilee, and Cyclops. You've got the deluxe edition of Apocalypse here next to them. Over here we have Sauron, which is super tall with that wingspan. The second Sentinel with Gambit, Juggernaut, and Magneto. Then we have the Sideshow Sentinel, which is kind of like a placeholder until the Age of Apocalypse Dio comes out from Iron Studios. Got the Dark Phoenix Deluxe Edition here. And then the third Sentinel, which has Kitty Pryde, Psylocke, Iceman, Archangel, and Storm. So always kind of wanted to put these on a square table in the middle of a room ever since I saw them like that at Sideshow Con a few years back. All right, guys, over to the bigger statues. We have the quarter scale TMNT from the animated series by PCS. This is the exclusive that comes with Krang, but we got Michelangelo, Raphael in the back, which I believe was the first one, Donatello here, and of course Leonardo. Then we got the bad guys over here, man. There goes Krang, got Bebop, Rocksteady, and of course the Shredder. So that's one line from PCS that I'm collecting when it comes to Turtles. Then down here, I started collecting their 1/3 scale line from the TMNT Legends series. So we've got Donatello and Raphael. Shredder's coming out next, and Leonardo is coming up for pre-order soon. And then from PCS as well, we have their quarter scale Last Ronin statue, the Supreme Edition, with the Fallen Brothers behind the Last Ronin. All right, guys, another one from PCS, 1/3 scale, Eon Flux, awesome character. Really got it for my wife because she's such a huge fan of the character, and it was just an excuse to buy it, I guess. And let's keep it real 100 here, guys. So you remember the problems that I used to have with my Maju cases where the statues would stain the white part? Well, apparently that is not limited to just Maju cases, and I'm having that same problem with these custom built-in shelves. Gonna have to try to clean them or paint over them. Now, this area is a little bit cluttered, and one of the reasons why I don't have as many statues is because I was trying to limit the clutteredness. But be that as it may, we have from Sideshow the quarter scale Venom premium format. We've got the Symbiote Spider-Man premium format. And then we have the 2 Queen Studios life-size busts for Venom here, which had damage along the jaw, but we had it professionally repaired. Shout out to my man Alex Salami for hooking that up. And then here goes the Carnage one. And then next to Carnage, we have the Sideshow premium format, sculpted by Daniel Bell. All right, down here, you guys caught a glimpse of it, but also from Sideshow, the quarter scale Iron Spider. Such a cool piece, how they have him floating in the air like that. And then where the collection is really headed is 1/3 scale. So the plan was to kind of get the legendary beasts and PCS, 1/3 scale pieces to fill up these big shelves. We've got the Magneto, inspired by X-Men #1, the iconic Jim Lee cover. Legendary beasts in a collaboration with XM, I should say. We got their 1/3 scale Captain America. Tons of switch out options on these guys. The next one coming in should be their Hulk to go here with the Thor piece. Man, they're making some of my favorite versions of these characters in statue form. And then, like I said, PCS also doing 1/3 scale Marvel, so I have their Wolverine here as well. All right, so next to it from Iron Studios, their prime scale Joker and Harley Quinn, which really is like 1/3 scale, which goes into the big boy, the centerpiece of the collection from Prime One Studio. We have Superman Hush with the sculpted cape, Doomsday beneath him. Moving over to the side, we've got Cyborg Superman. These are all Prime One Studio. Dead Man in 1/3 scale, Swamp Thing in 1/3 scale. Moving up, we've got Nightwing from Hush. And shout out to Stand It Up Comics, who made this GemMint stand that you can display comic books there. And next to it is just an air freshener. You gotta stay minty fresh, right? Then we have Poison Ivy from the Hush series, along with Batman, which, as you can see, I decided not to display all the bats everywhere. But you guys remember, this area was much more cluttered with all the Dark Knight's metal stuff. Decided to thin out the collection a little bit, give these pieces more room to breathe. And eventually we'll have just DC here, just Marvel here, and probably just Turtles over here. Just a quick look at the desk, and I gotta give a shout out to my man Carlos Santana with the custom Gem Mint Collectibles rug. And you guys probably hear this in the background, but we have some of the arcade one-ups out here in the main room now. The Sentinel display used to be against this wall, but I decided to rearrange them for a number of reasons. First of all, I wanted to have the Sentinel display in the center of the room. And these were all the 4-player cabs that kind of took up a lot of awkward space in the arcade, which we'll go into next. But we got the Generation 1 TMNT cab. I've always been tempted to get the Turtles in Time cab to have the updated stuff with the light up deck and the light up marquee, but I just love the OG look of the Gen 1 cab. Then we've got the Simpsons arcade game, which has Simpsons Bowling. The X-Men cab, which has the Avengers game on there, as well as the Captain America game. Then we have NFL Blitz and NBA Jam. And I moved most of the stools out here because these are all like multiplayer games. I still have my X-Men art prints by George Molina up here, the Instagram exclusive with the blue suit Cyclops, and the New York Comic-Con exclusive with the yellow suit. So we got the arcades out here now, showing some love to Valiant with the standee for Harbinger. Always loved me some standees. Then moving out into the hallway, just have some like Hobby Lobby decor. So we got the Jason Fabok, Joker and Batman. We've got these wood pieces from my guy, Brian Cochran, tattooist and woodworker. Got the Venom piece, the Spider-Man 24 cover. And I love how he makes these like 3D. Got some Alex Ross canvas prints here. The Avengers, the heroes, and the villains. Another wood piece from Brian. Another Valiant standee for Exo Manowar. Then we got some custom prints from Sal Bertulli from 2005. I had him commission these for me. He's still on Instagram. This is my favorite one. And this was in 2015, man, before the variant homage game or homage game got so crazy. Then we got just a little Batman canvas, the reverse side of the Jim Lee X-Men 1 connecting covers, which has this image and some of the holograms, those gold holograms from the X-Men trading card set. Got the Wolverine wood piece. And then we just have some Spider-Man and Venom canvases leading into the arcade room. So speaking of the arcade room, I finally did get some arcade carpet laid down in here. The only thing I haven't done yet was get baseboards put up, man. Like, who do you call to put up baseboards? But the arcade room is still a work in progress. It used to be wrapped around the entire room with those other arcades that you see out there. But what I did was put like a work area in here so we can stream some games. We got Mortal Kombat 1 here on the screen, PlayStation 5 and such. And here's where I record and do like reaction type videos. Over here we have a Nintendo Power Street Fighter poster that I ended up framing with some Street Fighter cards to kind of keep that theme going. Here's a little custom Gem Mint piece here from my boy, Big Ramos. 2019, he did this for the Gem Pin. And then over here, we have another Nintendo Power fold-out poster. I love old school MK art. So Johnny Cage versus Goro, and then some Mortal Kombat trading cards. Now, as far as arcade one-ups, we got the Miss Pac-Man, we got the Terminator 2 Judgment Day, Street Fighter Big Blue. Then we've got 3 Mortal Kombat cabs, the 30th anniversary cab on the left with the Mortal Kombat 1 art that has online play. And this is probably my oldest cabinet. Shout out to my boy Mike Cecilia, who sent us the light up marquee. But otherwise, this is a Gen 1 arcade one-up, old school riser. Then we have the Mortal Kombat 3 cab. I really like how they have both marquees, Vanilla and Ultimate. I forget what this is even called, man. The Midway Deluxe Edition or something. Got the original KI, not the Pro Edition or anything. We got some speakers, man. We can't get it bumping up in here. Marvel Superheroes Deluxe cab. This was the limited one with like that yellow trim with the Sandwall buttons and sticks. So pretty sought after. We still have the box for that too. It's got like an Iron Man inspired case. And then Marvel vs. Capcom 1 and 2 to finish out the arcade. On the wall, man, these are Mortal Kombat 9 GameStop promo stuff that we got when they were taking them down, man. We happened to just be at the right place at the right time. And we've had this since 2011, or it might have been 2012. It was probably at the end of 2011. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the basement tour. I appreciate everybody watching, people who have been around for these last 6 years. All you new people, drop me a comment down below, leave a like on the video, and stay minty fresh. Peace.